Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever for another co-cast, this time on the Neuroxus map generator, and it's a relatively high-rated game. I'm joined by Function. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you, Willow?
I'm alright. Allergies are still kicking my ass, but hey, what are you gonna do? I'd like to direct everybody's attention down to the buttons down below. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, bell, super things. All the buttons. Click them.
Love those buttons.
And let's get into introducing our teams, starting with Team 1 in the top left and Team 2 in the bottom right. And we're going to start in the southwestern position with a yellow Aeon going first land by the name of Vesem Privet. And he's rocking first land in best faction. As we move on up to the blue Seraphim going first land by the name of The Wreck. And he's rocking his position, first land, and then an Aeon Land Factory. And then we have ourselves a purple Aeon best faction going first land by the name of Shokaku22. Rocking this position here. And then last but not least for Team 1 in this 4v4, we have a blue Seraphim going first land by the name of Zoros, as I pass it off to our to Function to introduce the other players, starting down here with...
Nice. So we've got in the left-hand position Tex playing green Aeon. Then over to his right playing red Siren, we've got Zazanoba. Great name. Then to the north, playing Cyan UEF, we have Glassy. And then rounding it out, playing white UEF, we've got Tassin.
Alrighty.
Nice.
That's all of our players introduced. So go back to normal speed and talk about the map a little bit. We have ourselves 10,000 reclaim and a decent little bit of choke points, but overall it's kind of an open field, generally going to allow for large land battles. There's some choke points that'll make it difficult, usually on around the flanks, but this middle area very open and very available for players to fight in. 10,000 mass reclaim, lots of it right here and on those corners, not very much around the bases. And yeah, a ton of mass extractor points.
Just littered all over the place, aren't they?
Yeah.
I feel like that makes for quite an interesting game.
Yep, it's probably going to be a bit slow here in the beginning, with it being a 15 by 15 kilometer map. The way you can tell is, of course, it's got the same size as a 20, and then they cut off a bit and make these weird, kind of ugly looking black bars around the entire map, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is quite a cool map gen. I like maps like this where they're pretty open with a little bit of like terrain dotted around, and then the mechs is all out in the open. I think having the mechs like that kind of gives a bit more meaning to the territory that you gain throughout the game.
Yep, and of course we can talk about the ratings of these players, ranging from 1,300 to 2,200. We have quite the range. It's 93% balanced. And as far as pros versus Joes go, I would say that Team 2 has only one pro in Tex, as he's a 2,200 rated. They have some players nipping at the heels of glory with Glassy and Tassin at 1,500 and 1,600. I consider 1,700 and above pro level. And then on Team 1, we have The Wreck and Azuros at 1,800 and 1,900 respectively, who are pros. And then they have a 1,400 and 1,300 assisting them. Both teams have a 1,300, Zaznova and Shokaku, so those are the players that we're going to look to under or overperform. They could very easily decide the game if they are playing a little bit above their level today. And we have a mech marine.
Yep, definitely. Do you recognize the name Azuros? Have you seen him before? I thought I knew all the 1,900 and above players, but I don't recognize that one.
Yeah, he plays with the Dualist actually quite often, and he is a monster. The first time I played with him, me and Thurnis, who is now a pro, which is weird to say, me and Thurnis played against him on Onslaught when we were in the Onslaught 5v5 thing, and he got, in like the first 15 minutes, he got the 4 frontal bases on that map, and he was winning micro fights across the entire map against 4 players. Like, he was winning every land battle, and he was using like range bots and sniper bots. Like, he wasn't using He wasn't using like just the throw it at your opponent and use numbers. No, he was using the ones you have to
Yeah,
light.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, very, very high APM player, if I had to describe him.
Bomber coming out for Tassin.
Indeed.
No
Gonna be
kills
able
just
to
yet.
pick up a T1 engineer and maybe a second. I would assume there's already an anti-air in production for Azuros and probably an interceptor since a scout just flew out of that base. Does manage 1 kill. Is it going to get any more? Looks like it's going for 3 kills. Only gets 2.
That painful.
And about to get a rank of veterancy if it drops 1 more bomb. So, it'd make it a little bit harder for that interceptor that just rolled out of the building to do it. And he's going to get 2 more
another
kills.
2.
And the micro going well enough. I think he gets another bomb dropped off. And he does. Getting himself up to 5 kills. Can try and run away, but dread it, run from it. It's inevitable. The interceptor kills
Really
the
good.
bomber.
Yeah, pretty good bomber there for Tassin. No micro, unfortunately, for Shokaku. But we've got lots of comms moving forwards, which you'd expect given the number of mexes that are in the middle of the map. Nice steady stream of units coming down the left-hand side for Privet.
No comm upgrades just as of yet. We are only 5 minutes in, but generally on maps like these, you see a lot of gun comms out of these higher rated players. They really want to get the efficiency out of their ACU while it is still a threat to all of the units on the field. Oh, beautiful Auroras destroying even more beautiful Auroras. I thought they were going up against another faction for a second.
You hate to see on Aeon violence.
Yeah, they should be cleansing the heretics instead.
Yeah, ideally, yeah. You hoping to see some chrono dampener, some ranged Aeon com shenanigans going on this game?
I don't get the privilege of seeing Chrono Dampener anymore, but in these higher rated games, it's a pleasure to watch them abuse Harbingers to the nth degree.
Yeah. I've been doing loads of casts over the last couple of days. I'm going to Bristol for an extended weekend. Nice. So yeah, I've got just loads of casts, and I was just watching one where Harbingers were being used on an attack order, and they were reclaiming as they go, and I thought of you.
Yep. Yeah, I've been casting a lot too. In fact, right before I got you to come, I stole you away from your MapGen practice. I had just casted a 1v1 on Settins.
Oh, I did one of those. I wonder if it's the same game. Was it Swackle v Turbo?
Nope, I was about to cast that one, and then I found another one, which is Laissez-Faire versus Whitehorse, which are 1800 and 1900 ladder, respectively.
Yeah, I've a lot of the time when I'm looking for high-rated 1v1 games, I literally just type Swackle into the search bar and look for that, because he's very active, and he's the highest rated 1v1 player at the minute, I think.
Yeah.
Or the highest rated active 1v1 player.
I don't know if you've had a chance to check it out yet, but my latest 2v2 cast with Thurnus, the one that came out today actually, had Nexus. Cool. It had Nexus in it, and it was surprising. Nexus very rusty right now. I think he hasn't played very much recently.
Yeah, he was a big player when I first picked up the game, if I can get my words out, and then kind of stopped playing for a couple of years and came back, and haven't seen him around since then.
A year or two ago, he won Legend of the Stars. So
nice.
All these Aurora getting killed hurts my soul. So
I don't know why they were all trying to bunch up on top of each other there.
It was a Shift G move order. So as far as upgrades go, we have a smattering of T2 finishing. A lot of people with T2, and then we have some Aeon range upgrades and Aeon speed upgrade, give or take somewhere or another. I'm really trying to keep my eye over here on Tex. Tex is he's a 2200. You don't get there without being a monster. As over here to the east, It seems as though Azuros has managed to cut off all reinforcement to Tassin. And Tassin's kind of just all alone with his ACU. This is a difficult position. Hell, he's being boxed in by T1 PD.
Looking pretty singled out over there. There's not too many offensive units in the area at the minute, and it looks like he's been able to kill those T1 NGs, but it's not an ideal situation to be in.
Yeah,
does he have any upgrades on that com?
Nope, he does not. Lassie is T2 in the middle, building a triad. Speed and range on the way for Zaznova, T2 on the way for Azoros, and for Shokaku 22. I feel like this is something where if you're a Glassy, you need to respond to this. And it does seem as though Glassy agrees. Tassin is doing his best, he's doing his darndest over here, like, I'll try something. The most efficient choice right here is to walk up, overcharge that PD, and then reclaim the factories. That's the fastest way to kill these factories.
Yeah, I think he's hesitant to walk into range of that T1 PD because he's on like only 6,000 hit points left. But he's got some reinforcements coming in from the north, as we see a little bit of bomber play potentially, but a nice run by coming down from was it Shokaku? Yeah.
This is Azoros, the blue.
Oh, gotcha.
Shokaku is the purple Aeon.
Yeah. Is this a match-made game?
No, this is a custom. You can tell by the ratings; they are all rounded.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So I mean, managed to get some units in the base, but didn't really get too much damage done. He killed the T1 PD. He killed I think 1 or 2 P-gens, but not much more than that. Just a bit of a mass field now there for Tassin to pick up.
Yeah, 2 grand mass, not a shabby mass field. Although it's really bought him a lot of room. Now when we go and look, Azoros, never mind. He has the worst economy because he is in a horrible power stall, it would seem.
Oh dear. I've never been in the power stall myself.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that.
The wreck is echoing up a storm though. 123 mass a second. He beat 100 mass a second before 10 minutes.
Wow. I mean, that's the way I like to play the game. Don't build a single unit until about 20 minutes and then build Nithota and win. At least that's how it goes in my head.
Yeah, unfortunately, it rarely works out that way, huh?
No, yeah, it really doesn't.
Glassy T2 has really saved his team quite a lot. He's been able to just use some triads to discourage any kind of aggression in the middle, and he's just been able to send all of this production he's had to go help out Tassin. Tassin really needs to pay his team back for all of the pressure that he's had to, for all of the pressure they're having to exert for him. He really needs to get back swinging into this game. He is starting to produce pillars, but needs to exert some control over his side of the map now.
Yeah, he's pretty low on eco. I think it's going to take him some time to get that eco back. He's got a few mixes to build near his com, but yeah, I think it's going to take some time. Privet making some good strides down in the bottom before we saw that he had units coming down the left-hand side, and he's taking control of that bottom corner now. Poking at Texas base.
So it's a bit deceiving. It really does look right now like Privet, the 1400, is just dunking on Tex. But Tex is being a sneaky boy because he's at 100 mass a second and Privet's at 45.
Yeah.
Tex is deceptively powerful right now. He is, of course, not doing quite as well with the Aurora micro as he seems to continually get very bad trades. But he's up to T3 land now, and you know how I was talking about these higher rated players and abusing Harbingers? Well, now imagine it. Tex is going to be abusing those Sprite Strikers, those T3 sniper bots.
Ooh, fun.
Those made an appearance in our last cast, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Is it is it Seraphim or Aeon that has the artillery doggos? It's Seraphim, right?
It's Seraphim. The Aeon artillery is it's basically a fervor, but big.
Ah, right. Yeah.
It literally is just a bigger fervor. It's funny.
Speaking of our last cast, we were you showed me how to look at the skeletons of all the units. Have you seen the skeleton of a Siren Destroyer. What's it called? Not the
Salem?
Siren, the Salem. Yeah, have you seen that? When it's walking on land, have you seen the skeleton of that? It's absolutely disgusting.
No, I haven't. I'm not gonna do it this cast. We've already had our cast of me constantly doing that.
Yeah.
Privet showing up with a gun, speed, and range comm, gonna be able to really just blap these sniper bots away, but of course the sniper bots can run away. Of course, the commander, for all of the factions, of course, suffering from lethargy, as the commander is only able to run away from one unit in this entire game.
Let me guess. I don't know, demolishers or something like that.
Nope.
They move pretty slow.
It's a T4. There's only one unit in the game any of the commanders can run away from effectively.
The fat boy. The fat
Nope.
boy moves slowest.
The
Right?
fat boy.
Ah.
The fat boy is faster than the commander. You will never
What's
guess
the
it.
slowest unit? Megalith?
Nope. Megalith faster than a commander.
I don't know. Which is it?
It's the Scathis. It's the only experimental that can move
Oh.
that is slower than the AC.
That's sneaky, Willow. That's sneaky. I
Yeah,
don't think of the Scathis.
it's not particularly useful information because there's very few maps where you could try and run away from it.
yeah. I'm running away from the Scathis is kind of a weird premise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sniper bots moving into melee range. Decided they want to get up close and personal.
It's not their strong point, is it? I think
No,
Harbingers
it's not.
is the call, and I think Tex is agreeing with me. Harbingers destroys this. I think he kind of skipped Harbingers and then realized, wait, no, they're actually good right now. As he's in a heated engagement up here, has shield, sensors, and range. I'm a big fan of sensors. A lot of people say it's worse than just getting speed, but I really like the idea of never having to worry about if my comm can see the things around me.
Yeah, I wish I could get sensor range on the Seraphim comm because I just always seem to end up surrounded by units out of nowhere.
This is a
been doing-
huge assault out from Zaznova.
Making use of those T1 units while they're still good, supported by Texas comm.
Medusa are always good, at least until you get to T3. Medusa can still stun T2 units, so...
Yeah. Can they not stun T3? I was watching a
I just had that
casting a game earlier.
I just had that question and in that sentence I casted. And
Oh, yeah?
I don't think they can, because I saw them shooting a bunch of Othams and the Othams never got stunned.
Okay, so I think it was loyalists that were stunning the Othams in the game that I was watching.
This is the Tale of 300 right now.
Yeah, the Monopoly.
Yeah, the Persians are really coming down strong, but the Spartans they're putting in work, to say the least. I don't think there's some deformed shepherd here to betray the Harbingers this time, though.
No, very good. What would the deformed shepherd equivalent be in Subcom? I wonder. Maybe like a monkey lord or something.
A Seraphim unit.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Probably
The
like
Seraphim are just the worst.
An Ilshiva? Ilshiva's a pretty
No,
weird
it has
looking.
to be something weak, like the lightning tank.
Oh yeah, those things are weird.
Man, this
Some units trying to figure out how to get past the hill and go one by one.
Privet has really just decided that quantity has a quality all of its own.
Oh yeah.
It's just really
Can
thrown.
Is Privet stalling mass at the minute? Is he able to?
He's still at 45 mass a second. He's getting a ton of reclaim. He's getting like 100 mass a second worth of reclaim.
Yeah, so he is able to run all of those T1 factories that he spammed up in the bottom.
At least as long as he's getting reclaim, he can. Once he runs out, there's no way 45 mass a second runs 30 factories.
Yeah.
I want to give some props over here to Tassin, who's managed to, at the very least, not completely fold to Azuros. He was getting some ground over here. As Ilshiva's come out, he's having a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, does Tassin have any upgrades on the comm now? I feel like when you get into a situation where you've got
T2 and gun.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I think when you've got like really low income like Tassin does, I think it's quite good to get comm upgrades and use that comm aggressively, because it's a pretty efficient way of using the mass that you have.
Speaking of low income, neither side falling behind economically. Both sides have their strong points. Tex and Glassy getting 150-ish mass a second for Team 2, whereas Team 1 has a couple more people falling behind with 96 and 55 for Azuros and Privet, respectively, whereas Shokaku and the Wreck both reaching up there. 166 for Shokaku, and the Wreck just crested 200 mass a second. He is currently, on average, taking 9 minutes each time he gets another 100 mass a second.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I mean, he's pumping out units as well.
Well, when you have 200 mass a second, Ilshivas are cheap.
Yeah, true. Is he teched up to T3 yet? He's got T3 air, though. That's quite good. Strap bomber just rolling off there.
Yep, he does have T3 air. He also has, of course, just a ton of T3 mexes now. The Wreck doing quite well. Shokaku has a strong economy. What's he really using it for? Does have T3 land. Is seemingly going to be going for Mass Harbinger, which you've seen down here in the south be quite effective. What are the veterancies on these Harbingers? I have 2 vet.
Wow.
Was that a 3
40
vet?
kills, 94 kills on the Harbinger,
kills.
wow. Saw a game with Titans being used pretty similarly, and one of them got up to about 60 kills. I thought that was impressive, but Harbinger's taking it to the next level.
The highest kills I've seen on a non-experimental is like 500, and it was on a Titan.
Wow.
I've also seen comms get to almost 1,000, so... Speaking of comms and their effectiveness, 3 vet on the comm of Tex, and Poultry 51 kills. And 27 kills on Zaznova, who's about to get his 3rd rank of vet. Or 4th, actually.
Yeah. Strap Bomber came in over the top to try and take a pop at some of those units, but there's enough anti-air on the ground for Tex that he's not too worried. He's got the shield upgrade on his comm, plus a couple of asylums in the mix as well. So
1 kill on that strap armor. The flak, mostly ineffective, is going to get a T2 Pigeon. Maybe even get a factory if it gets a second pass to kill off the other T2 Pigeon. Very low on HP and falls all the same. Yeah, I don't know the hotkeys apparently.
He's a number of Harbingers on the front line for Tex. I keep wanting to call him Vortex. I don't know if that's a deliberate...
I think his name is just in reference to the state Texas. You call it's a nickname for people from Texas. You call them Tex.
Yeah.
Strat Bomber now coming in for Texas base. Is
no SAM sites. Oh, that's a lot of
engineers.
build
Luckily,
power.
that was a T3 Mex, so did not suffer a horrible fate. The T2 Mex is back here, unlucky. At least one gonna go down here.
And the Strap Bomber, of course, able to outrun those interceptors, so until some ASF show up...
T3 air has been achieved here, but it's going to be very difficult to build T3 air units when you lose 2 T2
Oh, that's
pieces.
a nice... Yeah, nice ground attack there to get the double kill.
Up to 29
Yeah, just
kills.
not really any answer to this at the minute. I saw Glassy had some, like, he had like 2 ASFs, but wasn't given them the attack order just yet.
Strap Bomber up to 34 kills and 9,000 mass killed.
Yeah, that's a really good Strap Bomber. I see this quite a lot
Oh my
when...
lord. This is going to be juicy. Oh my.
Look at that.
3 ranks of vet, 12,000 mass killed, getting back into range of the back mexes of Tex. Gonna be able to get another kill. 40 kills, gonna go up to 45. Gonna be able to turn and go refocus his energy and efforts onto the base of
E3 P-Gen's been
Zasnova
started there.
Oh, another T2 P-Gen going down and another couple of factories going down.
This is horrendous.
50 kills and 4 ranks of vet.
Man. That's so painful.
Tex has been chasing this thing the entire time. It might go down to this. Oh, no. Is it going to get a rank of vet off this?
Gets one more bomb
Not
off.
quite. ASF come out. 59 kills and nearly 20,000 mass kills.
I mean, that's one of the best strat bombs I've ever seen.
And it wasn't against 1K rated players. It was against a bunch of people who are nearing pro level, if not.
Yeah.
I'll kill Texas Firebase for you, Rec. I don't think Texas Firebase is the biggest concern of Rec right now, as he is kind of trying to fight a Tech 3 army with 2 very beefy comms using Strat Bombers and Ilshivas, which his Strat Bombers have been immaculate, to say the least.
Yeah. Straying into range of some T2PD, but gonna have to retreat.
The forward production is going to go down, so it's going to hurt Tex. And I've been expecting big things out of Tex, who has now been delivering on the western side. Yep. These 5 vet and 96 kills.
Oh, look at that. That's very satisfying. 104 kills.
94, 48. If you've ever wondered what's the use case for Harbingers, this is it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I mean, when you're sitting at 5 vet, are you even all that scared of T2PD?
No.
Okay,
I mean, you got 5,000 hit points on the chassis.
Yeah, and you get 30 HP a second. Overcharge not even enough to kill some of these.
Wow. That's painful.
The engineer is definitely going to go down. I think this is the death of a Harbinger. Kind of like that book, Death of a Salesman.
I have not read that one.
I have not either. I just know it exists. I should have used the reference I actually know, like Death of a Bachelor from the Panic at the Disco.
Ah. Scavenger's getting out of range of those T2PDs. There's 2 of them left, and they're going for some T1 P-Gens. I don't know what Privet's power situation is like, but I doubt that'll be too much of a blow to him.
The sniper bot's gonna end it off. 5,000 mass killed on this Harbinger. It's gonna go down.
How much do they cost to build?
Bots.
Like 800 mass or something?
480.
Ah.
Let's just check really quick. I think it's 480. 840. Never mind. Dyslexia.
Yeah. And Privet built like a ton of.
Oh, he might be able to get. He might be able to get it if the shield pops on in time. If the shield pops on in time.
Taking more shots.
Yes, he got it. Yes.
Nothing comes in.
I named that Harbinger Steve, and Steve is our hero.
Steve. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. For some reason, like whoa, these drop? Are these drops, or was this just the army over here?
I think it was the army that just walked down.
Oh. Tex is having trouble keeping his T3 mexes alive. Could call it Tex-Mex or something.
That's, yeah. You could do that, and I think you should.
Yeah, it's a type of food.
Yeah. Tex-Mex is pretty popular in the US. We have, what's the... I can't remember what the restaurant is, but there's a pretty popular restaurant in the UK that does Tex-Mex. But it's like huge in the US, right?
Yeah, it depends on where you're from and where you're at in the country.
Okay.
It's huge in Texas for sure.
Makes sense.
Where I'm from, we're more about. I live in the South, so we're more about like just the worst food for you. Anything deep fried.
Nice.
My favorite one is like a standard breakfast here is biscuits and gravy, and that's like
Oh
eating,
wow.
that's straight up eating cement. Like
Yeah,
you start off your day eating that, and then you don't want to do anything because there's just this
yeah.
ball of paste in your stomach.
Oh man.
We also like grits.
Biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, I don't like grits, but grits are huge here.
What's that?
It's you'll have to look it up. I can't describe. It's like mush. I think it tastes horrible. And I also hate the texture of it.
Boiled cornmeal porridge. That's not words that you want put next to each other.
It's a big breakfast thing here. Also,
Ooh,
it's
the
not
wreck.
just breakfast because you have like grits and potatoes and grits and steak.
Oh yeah.
It's
Nice.
never served alone,
The
at
wreck.
least.
Oh okay.
Oh,
like
Tex
yeah,
built
makes
a
sense.
GC.
Wow, that was quick.
Yep.
He's
Does
on,
the
like,
wreck have
200
a
mass.
chicken or anything? Yep, he's about to have a chicken.
Yeah, so the wreck now on over 400 mass per tick, which is pretty impressive at 26 minutes.
Yeah, GC now on the way for Shokaku. Azuros
Very nice, very nice.
surprisingly struggling more than I would have expected against Tassin. Like, he had that very explosive opener, and then it seems as though Glassy was able to buy enough time for Tassin to kind of scale up here. He does have double the economy of Tassin, so it's surprising he's having any struggles. He's going to have a chicken, though. A lot of more experimentals, I feel, on the going up for Team 1. Team 2, I'm seeing a Fat Boy, that GC, and the Czar now on the way, and that's it.
Yeah, what does the ASF count look like? Who's in control of the air? I think it is Team 2. Tons of ASFs out for Glassy.
51 for Glassy. Tex on 46 interceptors. Zaznova on 7 ASF, I think. Or maybe that's 1 ASF. It's white on white. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
The Wreck is sitting on 17 ASF. We saw 51 for Glassy, so... Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Glassy has air, so that Czar is very dangerous. Especially with all these
absolutely.
gunships. These gunships being uncontested is a good sign that Team 1 doesn't have air.
Yeah, those gunships were wailing away on Privet's base, I think.
There's been a huge, what is it, prevalence of sniper bots this game. I do love to see it.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I really like sniper bots. I think they're a great unit.
I think that the more you are willing to babysit your units, the better they get. I just was speaking about it with Thurnis in a cast, and people were in the comments like, "Yeah, I've felt sniper bot pain firsthand." People are like, I had a Monkey Lord get one shot by sniper bots because I think with the Aeon it's like 40 sniper bots and one shot's a Monkey Lord.
Right, nice.
But I've had multiple times where I've basically full health killed experimentals without taking any damage using sniper bots. It's pretty broken.
Yeah, nice.
People always talk about Percival's killing experimentals, but sniper bots are another level, I feel.
Yeah. Nice Zooey
Fire
push
beetle.
over on the right-hand side.
Fire beetles being mixed in.
I haven't seen fire beetles in a long time.
They're surprisingly good against experimentals. Like they kind of fill that role that Mercies can, but they're on the ground.
Yeah.
Although radar kind of makes them very easy to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Oh, over here,
loads of Zoomies in
Azuros
the-
just
in the
walked
mix,
his
yeah.
army into the base of Tassin. Tassin loses his HQ. Not to mention his
Wow.
economy.
That's painful.
Yeah,
Yeah, losing
Tassin.
tons of T2 and T3 mixes there.
We were praising him, but now there's going to be a chicken, and he does not have any way to deal with that.
No.
Tassin seemingly going to
gonna have to-
collapse. GC showing up on the
Yeah,
front line
relying-
near this chicken. But critically, Tex does not have any sniper bots, and the Wreck definitely does. Although Czar showing up kind of just is, I mean, if you're playing rock, paper, scissors, the Czar right now is a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, just not enough ASFs out for Team 1. The Wreck has like 20
There's
out
enough.
now.
There's so few ASF here. I wouldn't be surprised if the Tsar could kill these ASF before it dies by itself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it could. It's got pretty decent
Although
DPS.
before its shield even goes down, all of these ASF are now dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you abuse this really hard right now because this is where your opponents start spamming out, well, mobile flak, but they're going to start getting SAMs out. You need to abuse the Tsar, I feel.
Yeah,
Percivals-
definitely, yeah.
Percivals have been gifted over to Tex, surprisingly. Either that or he has T3 UEF land too. Nuke finished up for Tex, gonna be loading now. Do we have an anti?
See any nuke defense? I don't see any.
The Wreck doesn't have any.
There's one there for Shokaku.
It's gonna be
Not loaded yet though.
It'll be loaded in time. Azuros doesn't
Yeah.
have one. Although speaking of Azuros, there is of course this chicken, and Azuros is calm! Under threat.
That's not good.
Really
13,000 hit points
Is it full share?
will
It
become
is
0
full
very
share.
quickly.
Independence Day.
That's not a good, yeah, not a good position to be in.
We finally get to have our discussion, because remember the first time we casted it failed? But the Tsar, the best thing you can do with the Tsar is get air control, and the Tsar's done that in spades, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, nice. Build,
This
man.
base should be
Ah.
forfeit.
Yeah, just no counter to that at all.
There's no anti-air. Like, you can build mobile flak, but that's not gonna save you.
No.
The shield is about to come back online if it isn't already. Yeah, the shield's already back online. And that
Yeah, I mean,
base is a thing of the past.
I just don't know how you counter this. I mean, the wreck is on 700 mass per second. Wow.
You get a lot of factories that build ASF.
Yeah. But I mean, that takes time, and that is time that
But
this Caesar is going to use.
this is just teamwork, because it's not like Tex is doing this all by himself. Most of this is Glassy being on point with his air control.
Yeah, really nice to see that.
This entire base forfeit and destroyed. The chicken over here in the center, double chickens versus Fatboy GC. Although the issue here is, if he does get too aggressive with these chickens, the Tsar comes back home and lays down the law.
Yeah, and those chickens are in no man's land. I mean, if those go down, the wreck is not going to be able to recoup that mass anytime soon.
Although they could break this position, they're going to be able to deal with that GC quite easily. A GC can take on one
Yeah.
chicken, and also the GC is outranged, which doesn't help it right now.
Yep.
And is not dodging the plasma death balls. Not that it really matters when you're against two chickens.
Like the chickens are alternating between
Oh.
headshots and groin shots.
Yeah, this is a problem. The wreck needs to be very cognizant of that lightning ball.
It does a
Billy
surprising
nuke.
amount of damage.
That's a Billy nuke, and that's going to be very significant. I think that's Glassy's Billy nuke.
Tassin, I think you can see it coming in it from the right hand side.
Oh,
I remember
yep.
it. I remember the notification that he had built that, but I don't know if he's used it
Fatboy
until now.
is running away, but the ground is just collapsing beneath Tex and Tex and Zaznova here. The Fatboy
Yeah.
is gonna get a lot of value. That tactical missile, or that Billy nuke, gonna be very useful. But the Fatboy dies to this. 55,000 HP is more than enough for that GC to catch up and make that Fatboy go on a slim fast diet.
I think
I feel
on the minimap-
that shouldn't work. It just used its little gravity claw things, the gravity gun, the GC, to
Yeah.
pick up a fire beetle and kill it. I feel like the fire beetle should explode.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, nice rank of vet. I think saved the
Oh,
GC.
and here's the
But,
Tsar.
Caesar comes in over the top.
70,000 mass killed, 137 kills.
Wow.
You think those Harbingers were heroes? Well, they were, because proportionally they did way more damage even still.
Yeah, so much flack out for the wreck now. He knows he can't compete in just pure ASF numbers.
Yeah, the good thing though is that flak does very well against the Tsar. It's hard to miss.
Yeah.
But the
Absolute bomber spam from Zasnova now.
the bombers are going to be eating a little bit. This Tsar might be able to kill off the flak, but instead opting to kill the chicken.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right call.
I mean, if it kills the chicken, then the Ion Storm will do a bunch of damage to the flak, maybe.
Yeah, if it kills the chicken, it also gets another rank of vet, so I see the reasoning.
Oh, true. Yeah. Switching up to the
Do we have
on the left-hand
another?
side.
Do we have another Billy ready to fire? Not seen so. Fuck my B. What did Glassy say is his bad?
Talking about the fact that he left the Caesar on its own? I don't know.
Yeah, it's down to 2,000 HP. Now you have that age-old question of do you let it repair? Or
Yeah.
do you control K it and get the reclaim and build another one?
I feel like if you let the shield come back online, you'll have about 6,000. Oh, it's 30,000 hit points on. Yeah, so when that shield comes back online, it's going to have a lot of hit points, and it's very close to its next rank of vet.
Yeah, 90,
I
90 HP a second. Also, it's gonna take. Oh, it just got a rank of vet. Don't. I guess it killed something in the
nice.
air. Oh, it helped kill the chicken.
Yeah, it gets the assist.
Okay, 115 HP a second. It's gonna be a bit, but that does repair in time. Can you repair air units with land units? Can you repair
Don't
this?
know. I don't think the Caesar lands, does it, ever?
No, it doesn't. It's a flying aircraft carrier. Air fight ensuing over here between Shokaku and Glassy. Glassy still dominating the air. Novax taking out part of the air grid. Anti-nuke halfway finished in loading, but what about the nuke? Oh, it's not even close. Nuke does not load in time.
It's loaded. It's loaded. I think it's got one missile.
Oh, it does. Why isn't he firing? Okay, he's firing. Oh, well, you know what? I like it. He's getting rid of the speed bump that has been privet to his Harbingers.
Yeah, Privet's come back in a big way, I think.
Yeah, he's got a decent economy
to what he was
underneath him.
facing.
But the wreck has lost so much economy. I guess he did give this over to Shokaku, who's on 400, but he was at like 800 mass a second a minute ago. Oh no, he's having power struggles, and this Novax is not helping.
Oh no! That's not good. He's gonna have to pause those ASF factories, I think.
What just blew up? Oh, that was the nuke. Oh, that's a Billy.
Lens flares all over the place.
Caster's nightmare.
Yep.
Billy. Now all we need is a bunch of SCUs on the map to start exploding.
Yeah, that would round out the picture.
Sniper bots being absolutely dismantled by Zeus's.
Well, Zeus is one shot a sniper bot, no, right?
No, but
They have like 500.
they have 700 HP, but you can trade like 20 T1 bombers and have an efficient trade against sniper bots.
Yeah.
Like, how much does a bomber cost and how much do those sniper bots cost? A bomber is 90 mass versus the sniper bot costing 800. You can trade straight up. You can straight up trade like 10, and as long as you get the kill, you're good. Tsar down here, going for its 5th rank of veterancy. It's going to take a while killing T3 units, but he's not... And
up to 18,000 hit points.
the Redeemer's doing a lot of HP. No damage.
Yeah, needs to hopefully focus on that. The shield's about to go down. 2,000 hit points on that shield.
I think this Tsar, you can happily lose. You can happily at this point lose the Tsar. Like, it's... if that Tsar hasn't been efficient enough, then you don't deserve to win.
Just let it retire. It just wants to go home.
At this point...
How much mass killed on the Caesar, says the wreck?
104,000.
We got a big drop of a bunch of T3 engineers coming to the front lines for Zaznova.
That we do. I guess he could be going for all of the reclaim in this area. Massive reclaim field on the front door of Team 2.
Wow.
And I think that's
6 experimental wrecks.
That's the nail in the coffin, honestly. The Novaxes are dealing their damage. These T3 mexes are all forfeit.
Yeah, and it's weird because the mass differential isn't that big, or at least the total mass differential isn't that big. Team 2 is only about 100k mass ahead, but they're just using the tools way more effectively.
Yeah, they're 100,000 mass ahead in total generation, but also every one of their mass is worth 1.3 mass with their efficiency on kill to loss right here.
Oh yeah, good point.
Tex alone is nearly at a 3-0 mass. Or 3-1 mass ratio. That is mostly the Tsar.
Second Caesar.
Yeah. The little brother of Big Brother there.
Is that a Billy nuke going off or something?
Do we have anything spicy? You have to do spicy things to win if you're Team 1. Because Team 2 is about to roll over you real hard. Another chicken gonna be sacrificed. Could maybe kill off this GC if it focuses it. Would get a rank of vet.
Boy, assisting the two Caesars. There's a lot of SAM sites over on the left-hand side there for Shokaku, who I think Privet manually transferred all of his base and units over to Shokaku.
Yeah, Privet isn't dead yet.
Caesar on the left just blasting away at some mountains. Fair enough.
The mountains are the true threat.
Sure there's a Game of Thrones reference in there somewhere.
Here we go. It's a pancake dinner for the wreck as we reach the final stages of this game. The wreck control Ks. Oh, never mind. He dies somehow somehow Tex got the credit on that kill. Oh, a Tsar on Tsar conflict. And I think that's game. Anything you want to say to the people as we close this one out?
Thanks for having me. Check out my channel. I do a new cast every other day. I've been doing some POV casts as well, which are quite fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed this game.
Ah, that trippy look when the Tsars intertwine with each other.
Clipping through each other, gross. Friendly fire as Shokaku's Caesar comes down on top of himself. Is that still two Caesars together? It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's still both Texas Tsars.
Yeah.
They're bearing down onto the commander of Shokaku, who is now dead.
Oof.
Is that the hero Tsar that lived in the end? Oh, they both died.
Ah, that's a shame. Nuke coming across from Texas base, going after Shokaku. That's the game. Nice. Well,
thanks for joining me, and thank you to all of the viewers.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you to the patrons. You all are beautiful. Click the buttons down below. Super thanks if you want to be generous, and like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you didn't like it, and let me know what you want to see in the future. Bye-bye.
See ya.